death of a nation is the bane of another nation. A nation is the day of government and a nation is suffering. Give a nation and give a nation. A tribe is the end of longing and a tribe is the beginning of the day of separation. They say, the angel of death reached Robbie A. He said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am the destroyer of pleasures, the orphan of children and the widow of women." Rabia said, "Why did you all talk about your badness? Why don't you say that I am a friend-to-friend supplier?" Sufyan Suri is quoted as saying that whenever a traveler came to him and said, "Do you have anything to do or a message?" In response, he used to say, "If you die somewhere, greet us." Bilal Abisin was arguing. His family said, "What a misfortune, you are going to die." Bilal said, "Don't be like that and say, 'How good. I will visit my friend tomorrow.'" Malik Dinar's brother passed away. He cried a lot over his grave. They said to him, "Are you crying like this because of the death of your brother?" He said, "We are not crying because he has passed away, not because I have survived him today. I cry to stay away from him in the resurrection and not see him." This is the longing to see the creation itself. How is the longing to meet the Creator and how much is it? Someone came to Arifai and said, "I was told in a dream that you have 1 year left to live." Arif nodded and said, "Oh, we have to wait for another year." Then he got up and in the ecstasy of his conscience, he made a movement and became anxious and lost himself and said, "When will the sun of prosperity rise and the moon of government rise?" A mystic and spiritual man, who was always sad and immersed in life and never laughed, died. A group came to him, they saw him smiling. They asked, "How is it that we never saw you smiling? Now that it's time to die, are you smiling?" He said, "Why didn't I laugh when the sun of separation reached the wall and the day of my waiting was over? Now the doors of heaven are open and the angels are calling out that so and so is coming." When Abu Sa'id Abul Khair died, his disciples said, "O Master, you were the Qibla of the burnt and the Muqtada of the enthusiastic and the sun of the world. Now turn to Hazrat Ezid Nihad and make a bequest to these burned ones and say a word that will be remembered." The teacher said, "Even so, what should I say when I go to Hazrat Ezid?" Bushar Hafi started crying when he died. They said to him, "Do you love life and fear death?" He said, "No, but reaching God is a big and heavy task." This is the situation of a group that when the fear and terror of the manifestation of the essence overcomes them and they do not help until they hear the call of fear. God is kind and forgiving to his servants, and the sign of his mercy and kindness is that he does not allow the servant to commit sin so that he deserves punishment, and this door of mercy is more eloquent and expressive than the forgiveness of sin. Because if he leaves the servant to commit a sin, people will hate him. Then the record of mercy and his eternal wisdom will reach and take hold of him. Someone said, "There was a wicked man in my neighbor who had traces of guilt and guilt on his face, and I hated him immensely until he died. When they took away his body, I went to a corner so as not to pray over him. After that, someone saw him in a dream at night in a good state and a pleasant company. He asked, 'What did God do to you?' He said, 'Forgive me by your mercy, and all those roughnesses died from me.' So, it is possible that God will provide the means of suffering for a servant and close easy doors for him, so that when the servant is in despair, then he will open to him in mercy." Another dreamed of a sinner who had died. He asked, "What deal did God make with you?" He said, "My good and bad deeds were weighed with the scales of justice, and the bad outweighed the good. Suddenly, a bag fell from the sky on the bottom of the scale and good things prevailed over bad things. When I opened that bag, there was a handful of dirt in it that I had lovingly poured on the grave of a believer. Great is the merciful and merciful God.